The past year has transformed the way we live and work. Businesses have had to adopt new ways of working, and a startling finding of Business in the Community's 2020 Mental Health at Work report, in partnership with Bupa, is that 41% of employees have experienced poor mental health caused or worsened by work. However, on a positive note, the report also found that the number of employees who feel that their organisation supports their mental health is on the rise, from 55% in 2019 to 63% in 2020. Today, we'll hear from Anglian Water's Group Director of People, Susannah Clements, about their approach to ensuring their people are equally supported, regardless of their location or work role. We'll also hear from employees and what it's meant for them.
We are key workers, so our whole workforce was out making sure people had clean water. Mental health has been a huge focus for us. It's about keeping our people safe and well and happy. We have something called our LIFE programme, and our little mantra is happier, healthier and safer. And our perspective is that you need to be all three to be satisfied and a successful member of the team. But obviously the pandemic really threw a lot of curveballs at people's mental health. The first thing that we dealt with was how can we keep people connected, talking to our frontline employees who may be out and about in their van and actually whose day-to-day jobs change very little, to the majority of the time, was a huge challenge. So trying to do something which we call active management, which is getting our managers physically out and about in a COVID-safe way, is really, really important. The key thing for me was linking it to safety, because we are a very health and safety conscious organisation. But if you talk to them about safety, you do tend to get people's attention. So we have done a whole series of what we call stand-down events, where actually we take people offline, we give people half a day, and they come along to a whole series of online sessions. There's been a number of things that we've done. One thing is just to get out and about, again, in a very COVID-safe way, and a lot of our activities are outside, so that has helped with the frontline staff. We've used video so much more than we've ever used it before. We've used text on WhatsApp, so people can easily access videos on their phones or on their device. Things have got much more personal, and people have been less frightened to talk about, as leaders, the fact that they're also vulnerable and they're also struggling. So I would say the key lessons that we've learned is communicate personally and honestly. We recognise that a lot of people would be financially struggling, not because of the wages that we paid them, because those were secure, but because of the impact of unemployment or furloughing on their partners and other members of their families. We set up an employee assistance fund and actually gave out grants.
I work in water recycling in Anglian Water as a maintenance manager, and I have a team of mechanical and electrical technicians, and we repair sewage pumping stations and do maintenance work on water recycling works within a geographical patch in Northampton. It was a real challenge working through the pandemic. We had extra safety measures to be put in. We had to change the way we worked very swiftly and regularly, depending on the government guidelines that were given to us. And obviously we had to deal with self-isolation of my team and, making sure that my team were safe at all times, and myself as well. And during the pandemic, I was also dealing personally with a divorce, which is never an easy thing to deal with, but with all the complications that came along with that too. So that was added pressure as well. Anglian Water have a great support service called Employee Assistance Programme, and they offer all sorts of services on this. They offer physiotherapy, they offer counselling, I used it for legal advice as well, which was a really, really good thing. And for my team as well, we have the whole private physio, we have themselves, they can use EAP, it's a free phone number, and they can do a mental health self-referral as well. They don't actually have to come and talk to me if they don't feel they want to. And it was a very important time to make sure that they knew that was available during the pandemic, because I think some of them did struggle with it. It was a very hard time to work with all the extra safety measures and having children at home all the time that were being homeschooled, and partners that may not be, that might be the only person they see that day as well, physically. Men traditionally are very reluctant to often talk about their feelings, and I run a very open door policy. I spend a lot of time, I know my team, I tend to know their triggers and their characters, and I can often tell if one of them is feeling stressed, and I'm very lucky that they will come and talk to me if they do feel that they are getting in that way. So there is an element where it might just be a cup of tea with me and we can adjust working times, or it might be that actually I suggest they go and seek some more help and give them the numbers and refer, and make sure I catch up with them that they have done it as well. It's very easy to walk out of an office and say, I'll do that, and then get caught up with day-to-day life and not have that little bit of self-care. And also, if they are entering into that kind of support, make sure that we allow the time for them to do it as well, and that they get the most out of the support that is there offered to them. But sometimes it's as much as going out to see them and having a cup of tea and, sitting on site and, talking about the day's events and just making sure that actually they are okay, and offering that handout and, maybe making them think it's their idea too.
Thank you to Susannah and Sarah for sharing their experiences. They've demonstrated the importance of listening to employees and responding to their needs, as well as encouraging conversations between teams. If you haven't already, I strongly advise you to make the mental health at work commitment wherever you are on your journey, and implement the 6 standards that underpin it. That link's appearing on the screen right now.